Assalamu alaikum mbokk yi, welcome back to the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel, the home of Gambian football. It's your boy again, Chama guys, and it is Tuesday, so we usually do a weekend recap. I've been juggling between the names, weekend recap, weekly recap, because sometimes the midweek I try to cover the midweek as well. So I try to cover what happened. Within the span of a week, as far as Gambian footballers are concerned. That's what we will be doing again today, guys. If you are new around the channel, if you are new around the Jollof Football Bantaba, of course, it's the home of Gambian football. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Or like most of what we do is, centered around, Gambian football, Gambian footballers, and both home and abroad. But today's program, this one is the weekly recap of Gambian professional players. So, in a nutshell, we try to summarize, the key performance of Gambian foreign-based players over the course of a weekend. Of course, we touch the midweek as well, especially if a player, do something very good during the course of that week. And of course, we try to, cover also the headlines, because it's not just about the performances. We want to know how the players are doing. Some players are coming back from injury. Some players, have been injured. So we want to hear updates on how they have been, progressing. So we try to summarize all the key information as far as Gambian professional footballers playing their trade, in outside the Gambia is concerned, guys. So yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. Without wasting much of your time, guys, let's get right into the weekend recap. Yeah, it was another interesting week. The goals were not as many as last week. Last week we saw a lot of players scoring goals left, right, and center. This week there was a good number of goal scorers as well. Some players scoring their first professional goals, some scoring their first league goal of the season. We see some players scoring braces. So yeah, let's look at all. Yeah, what we start. I think we start. It is just to do justice to this one. We have to start with Yankuba Minteh. His nomination, I think that was the big headline this midweek. He got nominated for the Young Player of the Year award, African Young Player of the Year award. If I'm not wrong, he is the first Gambian to get this recognition. I have not checked that. Or is he the second? I think James Gomez got something like this before. I don't know if it was actually the Young Player of the Year nominee, or was it the African Cup of Nations Young Player of the tournament. So one of those two, James Gomez, got them before. So Yankuba Minteh is the only Gambian player to gain recognition in the upcoming awards, African awards, and he has been nominated for the Young Player of the Year award. What an exceptional year he had as a footballer. A big development in terms of his progression. Of course, he started the year playing with Feyenoord. He started last season playing with Feyenoord, but of course the year started mid season. And his second half of the season was much better than his first half of the season at Feyenoord, I would say. He was very, very good during that period, scored a lot of goals for them. I think he over the course of that season he scored 11 goals for Feyenoord in the 10 in the league and one in the Champions League, which was which made him the youngest Gambian player to score in the Champions League, of course. Yes, that's what Yankuba did. Let me just check my mic. I have a sneaky feeling. Oh, okay, the mic is right, guys. The mic is right. And of course, Gambia too. He has been instrumental since Coach Johnny, left his position. Even he was very crucial for Coach Tom, before Tom left, because don't forget that goal he scored, that important goal that he scored coming off the bench to, for Gambia to come back from their 2-0 down against Congo to qualify for the African Cup of Nations. He started that comeback. And then that was the only goal he scored on a Tom. I think that was the only goal involvement he had during that period. And then since Johnny came in, he has been instrumental for Jonathan McKinstry. He has played so far 6 games for Jonathan McKinstry. He has already scored 3 goals and also created a couple of assists. Only him and Yankup and Musa Barrow are players to score or assist more than 3 goals in the Gambia national team, more than 2 goals. Musa have 5, he has 5. They are the 2, crucial players for Coach Jonathan McKinstry since he came in. Both of them have given him 5 goal involvement. And he continued with Brighton. He did not, he started very well at Brighton, I would say. He played some very good friendly games here in Japan and scored some very good goals. But then the Premier League, like many players who come to the Premier League, sometimes, you don't just get the ball rolling straight away in the Premier League. It's a very, very tough league to play in. And that's what he found out. He had an very good start against Everton and then grew into it. And then, eventually, then he kind of dropped off. But then, he started picking up again before he got that injury when he came into the Gambian national team, a small muscle injury. And I will give you a little update on that one as well. So, yeah, it's massive to see a Gambian player, being in the mix to be the Young African Player of the Year. Hopefully this is the first of many that we will see him in this kind of nominations or in this kind of awards. Hopefully, up there he has his teammate Carlos Baleba, who has been exceptional for Brighton so far this season. And you have players like Lamine Camara, who was exceptional for Senegal and playing for Monaco now, was exceptional for Metz last season. So he's up against some very, very good young players. But yeah, it's great to see our Gambian star boy Yanko Minteh in this mix. Speaking of his injury, I just listened to the press conference of his coach. That is Fabian Hosler. He was talking about, because they play against Liverpool tomorrow, which is my team eventually. So tomorrow, Young Minteh will be facing my team. But of course, I wish, I wish he him all the best. I wish he score against Liverpool and all whatnot. Yeah, and it's the Carabao Cup, so let them take the Carabao and then Liverpool take the Premier League. Yanko was scoring a couple of goals as well. I will do that, because we play Brighton play Liverpool back to back. They play them this midweek in the Carabao Cup, and then they play them on during the weekend. It's gonna be Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure about the date yet. They play them again. That one will be inside the Amex Stadium, but tomorrow night will be at Anfield. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. The coach was doing his press conference ahead of that game, and then he was asked about Yankuba Minteh, about his state. Could he be available for the game against Liverpool? The coach said he was very close. The coach said he was very close. There's a chance that he could be available for Brighton against Liverpool on Wednesday, which is a very, very good news for Gambia, because the last 2 games since he came back from the international break, he has not kicked the ball. He came back with a slight muscle issue, but it's good to hear that he is very close to coming back from that injury that he got during the international break. It was asked between him and Hinshelwood. They are Brighton-born player. But he said Hinshelwood was much closer to the team than Yanko Minteh, but both of them are on grass now training, so which means there is a chance. So he said with Minteh, like he said last weekend, that they're gonna take it day by day and then see what's gonna happen. So they wanna see what happens with him during the training day, and then they will make a judgment if he will be available for tomorrow. So, but he say he's not gonna take any risk. So, if there is any chance of aggravating the injury again, I'm sure he will rest him. But the great news is that he is back on grass. He is running again, and he's training with his teammates. So let's see what happens tomorrow between Brighton and Liverpool. If he's fit, I would love to see him play at Anfield. Definitely. So we seen him that speedy recovery, and if not this week, if not this midweek, then during the weekend against Liverpool again, hopefully he will be available for that one. My comments. Yeah, it is Young Player of the Year. Is that James? It was Young Player of the Year he was nominated for. Okay. So then Yanko Minteh is the second player. I don't think any other Gambian has ever got this kind of recognition because like we are not used to being in part of these kind of things until we went to the African Cup of Nations. That's when we started, being gained in this record. Of course, there are some Gambians who gain recognition for the Golden Boy Award. Yanko Minteh, of course, got some recognition. He was nominated this year. And along with I think Musa Barrow got that nomination before. Musa Jammeh got that nomination before, and Ibrahim Dabo, EB Dabo got that nomination before. Those are the 4 Gambians who got nominated for the Golden Boy, European Golden Boy Award, the award given to the best young player. I think it's different from what Lamine Yamal got yesterday, but it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar. So. Yeah, hopefully Yanko Minteh can win. Hopefully, but it will be a very difficult one because he's up against, like I say, some very, very good talented players there. So some of the some news that are not so positive ahead of over the weekend. I would like to share with you guys. James Gomez, Lion Jai. I will try to find out what's happening with them. I don't know. But James Gomez was unavailable for his club. Others, they played. Alassana played the game, did his thing. But James was not in the squad at all. Lion Jai, and I'm not sure he was suspended or anything. So it must be an issue that's why he was not available. Lion Jai was not available as well. But for Lion, they have a very important game to play on Wednesday, which is the Cup semi-finals in the Norwegian Cup. They are doing really well. He was not available in the weekend. They lost that game. Jacob Mendy continued not to be available since he returned from the Gambia squad. He has not really he has not played any minute for Wrexham, which is worrying, and he has not even been in the squad. Seydou Kane as well. I think Seydou Kane was on the bench one time since he returned from the international, but he was not available at all this weekend. So another worry there, Abdoulaye Cissé, who has been on fire, absolutely on fire. Paide played this weekend. He was not in their squad. But of course, during the midweek, he scored a very, very good goal and then missed the game this weekend where they won again, kept a clean sheet stake, which I will get to later. So these are players that, they have been they were in the national team squad, the last national team squad, but they were unavailable for their clubs this weekend. So it is kind of worrying. I don't know what is the reason for them not being available. For Yankuba, of course, we know he was injured. He had a slight muscle issue, but the other players I haven't got any update on them. I will try to find out, and if I do, I will try to share that information on our social media. Yeah, and there was a positive news too. Abubakar Bari, the brother of Hamza Bari, both him and Hamza Bari were out injured, and both of them, Hamza returned actually last week. He played second half for Vile, and then Abubakar Bari returned this week for, he was injured before the international break, because I remember ahead of the last international break, everybody was talking about Abubakar Bari, should he make it this time, should he make it that time, but then he got an injury just the game before the international break. But now he's back for his club. He returned this week after a month out. So that is a positive news for us. Bamba Lai made his first start for Hajduk Split. He has been struggling with injuries. I think he missed more than a month with his injury. He got a recurrence or got another injury in the process. So he has been a stop start for him and at Hajduk Split, even though he started very well, scored a wonderful goal, if you remember it. But the good thing is he was back into the starting lineup after his injury woes. He was back into the starting lineup for Hajduk Split this weekend and played up to about 60 minutes in their game. So looking at the players who were in very good form, let's start with Alassane Jatta. I know the demand for Alassane Jatta is very, very high in the Gambian national team, or for the Gambian national team. I think it's just a matter of time that we will see Alassane Jatta very, very soon into the national team setup. I think he was invited one time in the past, but then he could not make it because of injury. Hopefully, that time is very near now, because he has been in exceptional form for not for his club, that is Notts County. This weekend too, he was their key player. He scored the only goal in their game. They won the game 1-0, making him that was his 7th goal of the season. He has already played, I think, 11 games, and he has scored 7 goals for the club and got a couple of assists as well. He has been in really, really good form. He's a proper goal scorer, and he continued to prove that week in, week out, scoring goals for fun. For Notts County, he's their key player. He's their key player when it comes to scoring goals. Like I say, 11 games played, 7 goals scored, and 2 assists. So that is 9 goal involvement in just 11 games that he has played. In the league, he has 6 goals, and 1 goal was scored in the cup. I'm sure if he maintains his fitness, I think he will be in contention for the national team in the upcoming squad announcement. I'll be surprised if I don't hear his name in the squad. I'll be really, really surprised if I don't hear his name in that squad. Next we move on to Musa Jammeh and Vile. Finally for Vile, they recorded their first win of the season, and Musa Jammeh was a big part of it. He came off the bench and scored a goal for them. They won the game 2-0. Hamza Barry also played in that game. They have been really struggling really badly in the Danish Superliga. I think it is not it's not done and dusted in terms of the relegation, because of course you usually have a championship group and a relegation group, so which kind of put the weaker teams in a small pool of competition, where of course if you can beat those teams, then you stand a chance of avoiding that relegation. It will be very difficult, to be honest. It will be very difficult. They are sitting at the bottom of the table despite their win this weekend, but it is doable. And if they have Musa Jammeh back in this form, back in his form, because you don't remember last season they were in the similar situation. They were in the relegation group, and Musa Jammeh, that was when he hit his form, scoring for fun week in, week out for them, creating chances, and then help them to safety during that period. So hopefully, if they can get him to his form, to his best form, I think he can help them, avoid that relegation again. It will be difficult, no mean feat. It's gonna be a very difficult task for them, because the start they have, I think they have played about more than 10 games before they registered their first win. Let me check and confirm that. So, but it was good to see Hamza Barry also returning, because last international break he missed it because of hamstring injury. Last week he came back and played 45 minutes, and this week he came on in the second half as well. So I think it's a matter of time before we see Hamza starting games for Vile again. Musa himself, he lost his spot in the team. Like I say, he lost his spot. He came on in the second half and then scored for them. Let me see how their table looks like. The standing. Yeah. They have played actually 13 games, and this is their first win. They have lost 11 games, 1 win and 1 draw. It will be a very difficult task, because if you look at the teams ahead of them, Line B, they are on 9 points. Violet, they are on 4 points. Line B, who is second from bottom, they are on 9.5 points ahead of them. And then the next team is 11 points. That is like 7 points ahead of them. So just to go out of that relegation spot is going to be even difficult. But again, like I say, the Danish league, the way it goes, is still young, and the way the league goes, they usually divide it into two categories. The weaker teams, or the bottom half teams, will play against each other, and the top half team will play each other for the championship. So maybe that gives them a chance to salvage something before it is too late. But yeah, it all starts with the counting starts with 1. So you get your first win, and then you build on that, get another win, and then get another win. And like I say, Musa Jammeh was crucial for them. He came on in the second half. And then, he scored their second goal to give them a 2-0 win. He came on in the 58 minutes and then scored. It just took him like 4 minutes to get on the score sheet. Next player who was on the score sheet, Alhagie Jatta. Alhagie Jatta. I've already covered this player when I did this in the summer. During the like break, or during their summer break, I was looking at some upcoming young talents who are potential for Gambia, and Alhagie was one of the players that I featured. He's a very exciting player, to be honest. For Torino, he was in their youth teams. He's a Swedish born, but of course he's Gambian descendant, and of course he has Gambian nationality as well. So he is eligible to represent the Gambia. He plays for Sweden and their youth teams right now. But yeah, he can play for the Gambia as well. Very, very exciting player. This is his first season at the senior level. This is his first season at senior level for Torino. Last season he was playing for the youth teams. I think he ended the season with 3 goals and 3 assists. He played over 30 games during that period. And he was not even happy with his numbers. So, but he's exciting, very good attacking player. This season, this is his second game in the Serie A. This is only his second game in the Serie A. In this first game, he came off the bench, and as well this one. He has played also in the Coppa Italia. Very interesting player. I know many people were asking, what is the coach waiting for Alhagie Jatta to call him? What is he waiting for? But at the end of the day, guys, the national team too is in as much I try to support players, I try to open my doors for any player who is of Gambian descent, Gambian descendant. I'm very open to any player, but at the end of the day, the national team is at the peak. It's our peak of football, Gambian football. So it should not be easy for any player. Yes, you are thinking about you are in a competition with another country like Sweden to get his services as a player, because he can represent Sweden as a Swedish born, but he can also represent the Gambia. But if you look at his record this season, he plays in the wings, of course. He plays in the similar position like Aliou Fadera's Yankuba Minteh, but he plays on the left side. So if you look at the players he's in competition with, you will see that I don't think he played up to that level. Yes, he's played in the Serie A, which is a very good league, top 5 leagues in the world. So you have to consider that. But he only played 2 games, right? And then scored his first goal this weekend. And everybody is talking, wait, why are we not calling Alhagie Jatta? Why are we not calling Alhagie Jatta? Yes, the coach can call him. Of course, but he has options as well. And then if you compare those players, what they are doing right now, and what he's doing, maybe those players are ahead of him a little bit. Like I said, this is his first professional season at the top level. This is he made his senior debut this year. Yes, he's just 19 years of age. He's exciting young talent. Sometimes, you have to look at the how far you think these kids can go, and then you can fast track their progression. That is absolutely possible. But then again, you have to look at what options that you have as well. So yeah, exciting player. He scored a very, very good goal. I'm not surprised by it at all, because I watch him play. I followed his progression. I was checking about him in the past, so I was not surprised that he came on and did that, because he's very exciting. What I said in that video that I recorded was, if you see him touch the ball, you feel excitement, because of he's very, very good player with the ball. So my bro G, I hope the boy will play for the Gambia. I hope so. I hope Gambia are watching. I hope Coach Johnny is watching. I think he has eyes everywhere, so I'm sure he must be monitoring this player as well, because he's playing in the top 5 leagues in the world. Not many Gambian players. You can count the number of Gambian players playing in the top 5 leagues in the world. In Italy, we have 3, of course. Aliou Fadera at Como, and Hellas Verona. There is Amin S, who I will also cover today, because he also got his first goal. Amin S, he also got his first goal for Hellas Verona over the course of the weekend. That is Lamin Sarr's twin brother. He plays. He's on loan from Lyon to Hellas Verona. They lost very badly this weekend, but he scored an exceptional goal. If you have not seen his goal, go and check it out. Hellas Verona, Amin S. He scored a long range like belter of a shot. Very, 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 very good goal he scored this weekend. So both of them opened their Italy like their Serie A account this weekend. So it's good to see them. There are two players, that can be considered. Amin Sarr, of course, Gambia have approached him in the past to come and play for Gambia, but he was delaying that decision, unlike his twin brother. So we have to wait on that one and see. He's also a very good player, very young. He's still a young player, so just like his brother, 22 years, I believe they are. So yeah, hopefully we will see him in Gambian colors too. His past couple of seasons has been really difficult for him. He had a very good season in Sweden and then moved to Lyon. And then at Lyon, it was taking time for him to, get used to it. And then, got some injuries along the way. They sent him to Wolfsburg on loan last season, and it did not really work out at Wolfsburg. Injuries also played a part in that one. Now they send him on loan again to Hellas Verona in the Italian Serie A. Hopefully, he will kick on from this one, and then hopefully he will stay injury free and then show them what he has got. If you are going to look that we will lose this boy, we all know that Ali Musa is there, but we need him already at the right time. I'm not saying the coach will not pick him. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the national team is the peak of Gambian football. It's not like playing a benn game rek nga def well rek ñëpp door da ci wanto ñu nga wara ñëw ci Gambian national team bi de, like you have to do like dafa war a fair daal man noonu laa dee gisee affaire bi. I love to see these players, exciting young players yoo xamante ne like they are Gambian descendants, they have the right ages and all whatnot. Ñu player for Gambia, like because kii soo Gambia right now 19 years of age, like xam nga su progress into a very, very good player, he can serve the national team for a very, very long time. I love to see that. But at the end of the day too, we have to think the national team as the peak of our football in Gambia. That is the top level of football in the country. So it should not be easy for any player to just come into the national team. You have very good players. You have Ibrahim Okoli, playing in the Champions League, a very good servant to the national team. He has not been there before lately. Ali Fadera, like I talk about. Musa Barrow, he can play in that position, sometimes you see players like Bamba Lai, they are not even making the squad. Players like Musa Jammeh, they are not making the squad. I just mentioned them. So, yeah, it has to be merited. And I'm not saying he is not merited to be in the national team. But then compared to other players right now, I think, like, he is not yet there. If he did not score this weekend, nobody will be talking about Aliou Ibn Jai Isilenko's national team. Nobody will be talking about it. I would love to see him maybe play for the. If you're going to have a proper system in play, a proper under 23, under 20, maybe you could have used those things and then leave it. But still, David play for Sweden, CNU team. He's not playing for the Swedish senior national team yet. I don't think Sweden will even consider him at this point. They will wait until, of course, he start playing regularly and stuff like that. They start to consider him. But yeah. These kind of situations is going to happen. There are some players we're going to lose them. There are some players we're going to get them. But at the end of the day, the most important thing, like the coach said, is not just about trying to race with the other country. It's about having a player who wants to represent the Gambia. That's the first question he asked these players when he talked to them. Like, how do you feel? How Gambian do you feel? Like, how much do you feel as a Gambian? Then that is the first question he usually asks them. He want to know how committed they are to the Gambia before he try to pursue them. So, and like I say, he's a Gambian international. He's a Gambian citizen. He's a Gambian citizen, right? He have Gambian citizenship. So he's a player who could represent the Gambia without shadow of a doubt. But again, he has to be merited, man. That is my opinion on that. He has to be doing it like regularly in the Serie A. First, like he got his first goal. Now it's a time for him to, kick on and then get a start in the Serie A and then, start playing regularly, maybe start getting a few numbers. And then, of course, why not? I would love to see him in the Gambia national team. Definitely. Yeah. So that's just to make that clear. I know that, next I will talk about Mohamed Samba. Mohamed Samba, he plays in the Faroe Islands. This weekend he was also very good. I think he scored the most goals of any Gambian player this weekend. He scored a brace for his club, HB Tozavan. in the Faroe Islands League. He's doing really well there. 4 goals, 6 assists in 23 games he played for them this season. Mohamed Samba, we have not been talking about him a lot this weekend. I think he scored a brace. I've not seen many pages to mention about his brace, but yeah, he's doing really well. He's also managed by Hary, the agent of Yankuba Minteh. Hopefully, if he have a very good season there, he might get a move to a better league. He currently playing in the Faroe Islands. Another player I was happy to see in the goals this weekend was Jibril Silla. Jibril Silla, he has not had the start that he ended the season with last season. Today, like this weekend, he scored his first league goal of the season for Azam. Azam won the game, 4-1, and he got his first goal. So I'm very happy to see him back in the goals. He was a player who was being mentioned to be in the national team. Even Johnny has been asked about him in the past and all whatnot. So I'm happy to see him back in the goals. He started the season struggling with numbers, but it's great to see him getting back in the goals. Jibril Silla, he scored for Azam in their win. And next we talk about this boy, Talib Jatta. So we were kudos to for bringing out this kid again. He was a player who was in the Gambian national team, the Gambia under-20 national team, led by Matar Mbodj, that went to Mauritania, and they finished third place in the African Cup of Nations. That was scheduled to qualify for the World Cup in Indonesia, but that World Cup was later cancelled due to the COVID. The team that involved players like Tijan Mar, Aliou Bari, and some of the under-20 who later came, Alhagie Sen, Kajali Drame, they were all in this team as well. Mamadou Bojang, they were all in that team. And they had this kid from MK Dons then, Talib Jatta, who was Swedish born, similar to Aliou Ibi. He's Swedish born, but he represented Gambia at those youth level because during Matar days, he was unearthing every single talent out there who is eligible to represent Gambia, trying to bring them in. He brought in some very, very good players during that time. And Talib was a very good player. He was playing for MK Dons in England. But then all of a sudden, he had a very bad injury. He had an ACL injury. He was out for 2 years. Nobody heard about him again, until this weekend. I saw posted about him. He said he was back and then he was playing for a non-league side, AFC Dunstable, and he came on in the second half on his return from the ACL injury, scored a couple of goals, which is very, very beautiful thing to see. Hopefully, he can build on from that again and then move on to better leagues. It's great to see him. So credit to 44 journalists for this one. I saw the post from his page, so I say I have to I have to mention him. Talib Jatta. Sometimes these players, they get injured and then we forget about them. That is the story. Especially these young players. So they need the support. So I'm happy to see him back scoring goals and then doing what he loves, which is playing football. And hopefully the injuries will be a thing of the past for him, and now he can build on and then go back into professional level. He's not even playing professional level at this moment. He's playing for a non-league side. So hopefully he will use this this time and then build up that momentum again and then go into better things. It's great to see him back from injury without a doubt. Other players who were also in the score set for also posted those ones were Jammeh at Atletico Madrid. That kid also doing really well, scoring a lot of goals in the UEFA Champions League Youth League. He already scored 3 goals there. This weekend he scored for them in the Atletico Madrid B team, or in their youth team. And also Lamin Silla, since he went to Olympiacos, he cannot stop scoring for their under-19s. He started with the under-19s. I think this is his 4th goal for them in the under-19s. He scored again this weekend. So that was another wonderful thing. Alassane Mane got his 6th assist of the season. Alassane has been in absolutely exceptional form this season. He got his 6th assist. Only 2 players in the Danish league have more assists than him. Others are sitting comfortably at the top of the Danish league. And Alassana has been, creating a lot of chances for them. Alassana Mane, six assists. The top assister in the league has 7. Next, Ibrahima Jaju, Steck. I mentioned Steck. Oh, I'll not put his photo. But Steck, yeah, Ibrahima Jaju. Yeah, he's also having a very good season with Paide. Paide are having a very good season in Estonia. They are on course to qualify for the for European competitions. They are currently sitting 3rd in the league. If I'm not wrong, they are currently sitting 3rd in the league. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, Paide are sitting 3rd in the league. Paide are sitting 3rd. Level on points with Kalju. Yeah, Kalju on 66 points. They only have 2 more games to go before the season ends. Flora in 2nd place are just 1 point ahead of Paide. And Paide have been in a very, very good form. I think they have not lost a game in their last 5 or 6 games. In their last 5 games, yeah, they have won 4 and drew 1 in their last 5 games. They have kept 3 clean sheets during that process. Ibrahima Jaju Steck, keeping the clean sheets, saving penalties, back-to-back clean sheet for him. In their midweek they won 1-0 and then they win again 2-0 in their most recent game over the course of the weekend, where of course this guy Abdoulaye Cisse was missing. They have a very important game to play this weekend in the Estonian Cup against Flora, the team sitting in 2nd place, which will be a very exciting one. That will be on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. They play against Flora in the cup. They have just 2 league games to go. If they win those 2, they will be they will be qualifying for European competitions again, and they will call European Conference League again, or the qualifiers of the European Conference League for next season. So, yeah. Another player that I will touch, I think Moses Jaju deserves a mention. He has been starting regularly for his club in Ukraine. He has started 3 games in a row. I saw this weekend he was playing in the defensive midfield role. He was playing as a 6. He was sitting in front of the central defenders playing as a 6, which is very interesting for me. Maybe Space can tell me. I think he played that for them in the Navetans or stuff, because I saw him in some Navetan teams wearing number 10 and stuff like that. So he looks like a versatile player when he was young, and when he was younger. Now playing as a 6 for his club. We know him as a central defender. He was the partner of Alhagie Jatta in under 20. Now playing as a 6. Interesting stuff. But the fact he is starting games is also very important. We know we are struggling for numbers in the central defensive areas, because no central defender other than Omar Colley, James Gomez, now Lion Jai, is taking a claim to be in the national team, because most of them are not playing. Idrissa Cisse started quite well, but now he's not even in the squad last week for their team. So yeah, it's interesting. And then you go to State, what's his name? Demo Sedikan is there as well. He's also an option. But of course, sometimes you consider the level as well, the level they are playing at. I know how Sonko is not coming for the national team. So we need somebody to emerge. Alhagie Jatta is still, not back. He is back on grass training, but he's not yet back playing for Hosen. So we need a defender, somebody to emerge to raise his hand, say, Coach Johnny, I'm here, pick me. And Moses Jaju, that is what he's doing right now. He's playing, starting 3 games in a row in the Ukrainian league, which is very good. If he can maintain that form, his club winning games, keeping clean sheets, I'm sure Coach Jonathan McKinstry will look at him. And finally today, I will talk about Ibo Adams. He has been absolutely a monster. He's a monster in the championship. Like Ibo Adams, the way this guy walks is crazy. I think I've said this before here. Ibo Adams is his strength is how did I put it? Like his strength is on his energy. He's a more of an box to. Right now they are playing him as a number 10 because they know he will cover all the ground for them, and he has been very, very important for Derby County so far in the championship. He's winning more tackles than any player in the league. He's winning, more duels than any player in the league. Only one player have recorded more tackles in the league than him. That is Souza from Sheffield United. They were in the Premier League last season. That Brazilian guy. He's the only player to register more tackles than him in the whole league. Ibu Adams has recorded 45, 45 tackles. And Ibu Adams has a better, success rate when it comes to his tackles than Souza. Yeah. And the duels too as well. He's also winning every duel. Anything that he's going in for 50-50, like most of the time, more often than not, Ibu Adams will end up with the ball. This weekend, like Derby, they drew again. I think that was their third draw in a row. And again, he completed 5 out of 5 tackles that he attempted. He completed the most duels in the game, 7. He attempted the most duels as well. I think he attempted 12 duels in that game. So yeah, he's a monster. And he's in a very, very good form. He's a player. The way I said it last time was, he's a player who needs to play. His strength is in his playing. The more he plays, the better he gets. Naturally, that is the case for many players. But with Ibu Adams, it's very important to get the best of Ibu Adams. He needs to be playing regularly, and that is what Derby are getting right now. The Derby are reaping the rewards of keeping him in the team every single time playing, because like energy is not his problem. He is one of the most energetic players you can see. So he just need that momentum to keep going and keep going. He's a very, very good player. Technically, of course, I always say that he's not the most technical footballer. But of course, not every footballer is like technical. Is a technical footballer. But they offer you different aspects of the game. Like he breaks your play, he plays it simple and things like that. He can keep the ball rolling. He can arrive late in the box. I'm expecting to see more goals from him, because now he's playing as a number 10. He needs to arrive more often in the box, for those late goals. Like he scored last season, that goal of the season he scored. He did the similar thing this season as well, arriving late in the box, just at the edge of the box, and then finishing for Derby. So yeah, he's a top player, Ibu Adams, guys. I think that was it for this weekend in terms of the players that I wanted to cover. Of course, there are tons of Gambian players. I cannot cover everything, so I just try to focus on the main ones. Like over the weekend, the best performing players. That is what I try to cover, as well as those players who were involved in goal scorers, assisters, as well as defenders or goalkeepers who kept clean sheets, to cover those things, and of course try to update on the news as well. I know some people will complain, why didn't you cover this player? Why didn't you cover that player? I cannot cover them all. There are more than 300 Gambian players, and that is how we love it. That is how we love it as Gambian. We want to have more players to the point that we cannot monitor every one of them. We want them to keep going, keep doing well. Momodu Job, Toldo. I've not checked about Tolo, because sometimes some of these leagues too, the problem is the updating is not as it's not as good as you would want, and then you cannot watch the highlights and stuff like that. That makes life difficult. Tafa Minteh is on the comments, and he say what? And now that we are loaded with offensive-minded players, in the long run we need to have defensive-minded players. If you look at our last game, the team dominated in possession, keep up the good job. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. I think defensively, the country is still struggling in terms of stability. But we have seen in the last 2 or 3 games with Johnny, he has a stable back 5. He has a stable back 5. In the last couple of games, at least, you have Steck, Omar Colley, James Gomez, Ibu Toure, and then Joseph Cisse. That is a stable back 5. If you see that, I think in the last 4 games that Gambia has played, or the last 3 games that we have played as a nation, that back 4 stayed together. Only the goalkeeper changed, because Steck was not in the team prior to these last 2 games. It was Sibi. But the back four has been together for the last 3 games they have started. So we are getting that kind of consistency in the back, but we still need more options. Like you say, we still need more options, defensive options in those areas. And there are some very good defenders, coming through in different leagues, some very good players coming through. We just need to look at them as well. Yeah. And like I just mentioned, this kid, what is it called? Moses, returning back, starting games regularly, which is a good thing to see. Like we are not blessed with tons of defenders. That is the reality. Especially right back, we're not really blessed in that position. Central defensive midfielder, we have some coming up, but still the coach has not got like his choice there. Somebody has not, like when Solmar was there, Solmar was in his form. Every single time Solmar was fit, you will know that Solmar will be there. We don't have that now. That assurance of him. Every single time he will give you, could be amangut lolu. So maybe something like that will be important, because most of these midfielders we have, they are kind of not necessarily a defensive midfielder, or if they are a defensive midfielder, the coach has not deemed them fit, like ready enough to trust them enough to play them almost every single time. Yeah, guys. I was expecting to see much more comments, and then maybe I can react to the comments. But as far as I'm concerned, the notes that I had in my Momodu Job, Cambridge United, Momodu Job, Cambridge. I will look him up. Solmar. I don't know. The last I saw him was he was training in the Gambia. I'm sure he's clubless right now. He don't have a club, but hopefully he will. Yeah. Somebody asking about Modu Job and Sirif Sinyan. Let me check this Modu Job before I go. Sirif Sinyan, I think I did an update on Sirif Sinyan last week. He has been really good. Last week he scored. This week I believe I think they lost their game this weekend. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, they were defeated 3-0. That's why, like I say, I tried to cover the key performances. He lost the game 3-0, so there's not much there to say about Sirif. But last week he was good. Haruna Rashid, to be honest, he was somebody I wanted. He did not play this weekend. Haruna Rashid Njai, but he played in last midweek in the Europa League against Frankfurt in Germany. My brother Farms was there watching him, cheering him up, which was wonderful to see. And he played a very, very good game. He was the best player for RFS in that game, to be honest. He was the best player for RFS. They ended up losing the game 2-1, but definitely he left his mark in that game. Haruna Rashid Njai, he missed their game this weekend, and surprisingly he's playing in the back, man. He's playing they played 3 at the back that day. He played as one of the center backs, right center back. Prior to that, he was playing at right back, and then we know in the Gambia he was playing as a number 10. He was playing as a number 9, sometimes for Gunjur and BST, or sometimes playing as a midfield 8 in the youth team, or on the 20s he was playing sometimes as a 6. So he's such a versatile player, because if you can do all these things, that is very, very impressive. And he's still a very young player. I think he's just turned 19 recently. So yeah, he's a player who could grow, and he's a very well-built kid, very confident. I think he's a player that we have very, very high hopes on, and I think it will not be against the realm of reality if Coach Jonathan McKinstry consider him for the upcoming international break. He's playing at the highest level right now. He's one of few Gambian players who are playing in the Europa League. So. And then, he's playing regularly. Of course, this weekend, like I say, he was not involved for RFS. I don't know for what reason. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, that Haruna Rashid was also not involved for them this weekend. Let me just check this Modu Job from Cambridge United. Agiu Kandu is talking about. Agiu. But Ibrahim, is that a Gambian name? Saturbi. Agiu. Uh, maybe that's the first time I'm coming across that name. Gambian. Can do. Yeah, but yeah, I'm butcher. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Cambridge United. Let's see, Cambridge United. I was already following Cambridge United actually because of we used to have what's his name again? Sekou Jana used to play there, Cambridge United. Now you are telling me there's a Gambian playing in Cambridge United that I don't know of, so I have to check. You say is Momodu Job. Momodu Job. I'm looking at Cambridge United, but I cannot see any Momodu Job. Is he playing for the IU teams or something? I cannot see any Momodu Job because yeah, definitely if there was a player playing for Cambridge United, I would have known. Momodu Job. Let me just type his name and see. He is not in the Momodu Job. Momodu Job. Oh yeah. Mamadou Job. Okay. I saw it. I saw him. Mamadou Job. Cambridge United. Yeah. I believe he's playing for them in the youth teams right now because if you look at his games, like he has not really played any game for them. He has not really played for any game for them. I'm looking at his statistics right now, and 2023, 2024, five games. That was last season. He played 5 games for them in League One. He played 5 games for them last season. This season he has not played any game yet. So yeah, that's all I can say about him right now. That's why probably I don't know about him because he's not playing a lot. But yeah, I will keep track of him and see how well he progresses, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for joining me on the weekly recap. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully our star boy Minteh will be available for Liverpool game tomorrow. Score 1 or 2 against my team Liverpool, and probably Liverpool win. Yeah, guys. But anyways, thank you very much for joining me on the weekly recap. I hope you enjoy it, and I will catch you guys on the next one, the space on Friday. Please come and join us, the Camperby Space on Twitter. Until then, guys. Goodbye, guys.